Good late morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, the 19th day of December 2025. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your families are safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in health along with first responders, always trying to save lives, those that pick up garbage and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Those that are trying to help the people that are victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that create the demands that cause these evil industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game last night in Indianapolis, Indiana. New York Knicks defeated the Indiana Pacers by 1 point. 114, 113. In many ways, up until this point, this is the most, in my view, up until this point now, we still got, we just played 26 games, which means you still got 56 games to play. So most of the season ain't even done yet. You just get a quarter of the season, basically. But up until this point, this is the most satisfying win. Look, the Knicks are missing 5 rotation pieces. Shamit, Deuce, Cat, Mitch Robb, and Josh Hart. I expected Josh Hart to play. So he really must have been hurting for him to sit down, but he sat down last night. So they're missing 5 legit rotation pieces. They had Brunson, Bridges, OG from the and Clarkson from the regular rotation. That's the only 4 they had. But then they filled in with 26 minutes for Tyler Kolek, 18 minutes for Trey Jemison, who I was waiting for him to get some minutes because I always liked him. 11 minutes for Yabusele. They started Hoop Porty, gave him 27 minutes. And they started Diawara and gave him 19 minutes. And it was weird because guys like Diawara, Hoop Porty, Jemison, these guys don't normally get a lot of minutes. So when they come into a game and it's meaningful minutes, meaning they're affecting the outcome of the game, they're rusty. Their timing is off. They're not used to playing in that arena. So you saw that to start the game, Diawara. And then the other guys, Brunson, OG, McCall, if you notice, for at least 2 quarters, the shots kept hitting the front rim. And you know what that means. They were tired. Their legs were tired. It wasn't because, as some knucklehead might say, they played too many minutes in the previous night. No, it's the NBA season. It's the 82-game season, and they're going to come tired legs. They just come off a big tournament, which they won, as we know, in Las Vegas. So their legs were tired, and you saw that, okay? I'm watching the game, and I'm thinking, they're not going to get blown out. I was thinking if we could get the guys like the Jemisons, the Diawaras, the Hoop Porties, if we could get them, in the flow, then you give chance to guys like Brunson to do Brunson, to become Brunson to do Brunson stuff. And then on top of all that, Kyle Kolek and Jordan Clarkson have been rolling in the last, this is the 3rd game, I would say, that they both been rolling, very positive in their effect on winning, okay? And so they are not tired. They're not playing enough minutes to be tired, and they're rolling, so they want to play, right? So you had Kolek and Clarkson, they ready to play. And then you had Brunson, McCall, and OG needed to get their 2nd win. And then you had Diawara, Hoop Porty, Jemison just needed to get in the flow because they're not used to playing meaningful minutes like that. So all of that was going on in the first half. I was really just hoping the Knicks didn't get down by 20, because it's always a lot of work to come back. But if you could hold it in that 15-12 range, And we've seen the Knicks and Brunson do it many times. Then we knew that they could come back now eventually. So the largest lead that India had was 16. Then the Knicks started coming back. And look, I mean, you're down 5 rotation pieces, right? Tyler Kolek was fantastic. I mean, on both sides of the ball, he's playing defense, which was the big thing that was keeping him from playing time up until now. He's now playing defense, okay? I would say he's actually where he needs to be defensively. I think really, I ain't been seeing guys blow by him in the last 3 games. He stays in front. Matter of fact, not only does he stay in front, he's drawing charges. And not only that, he really, you could tell he has studied. And even Clyde mentioned it. He has studied Jalen Brunson. And he has taken a lot of Brunson's footwork. The boy is good, man. He's now worth the. I was down with him after I realized he survived, but I got to give the Knicks credit. They stuck with him. They drafted him in the second round, give him the biggest second round contract in Knicks history. But now he's proven his worth. He really is. And so he was huge. Brunson was Brunson. When we got to I think it was the third quarter, the end of the third quarter, I was like, okay, Captain, it's time for you to do your thing now. Because I knew, he's going to take over. And in the fourth quarter, he was doing his thing. Brunson ended up with 25, 10 to 23 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3, 2 of 3 from the line, 7 boards, 7 assists. And then, of course, Kolek, 16.7 of 10, 2 of 4 from 3, 6 boards, 11 assists, only 2 turnovers. The thing is, the only guys that really had negative plus minus was Diawara, who played 19 minutes, and he's a rookie, and he's young. He's only 20. So, he really needs more time, more minutes. And even Coach said that. He needs more minutes to get in the flow. 19 minutes is more than he's used to at this point, but he's going to be better, and he's going to be better defensively. He had to guard Siakam a few times down the floor. And I wasn't actually worried about him that much. Siakam is all world, man. He's one of them all NBA dudes on the perennial. So, he probably won't be this year because of how bad their team is, but he is. He's that type of talent. So to guard him is something. There's several times that Diawara or OG played him perfectly, and he still scored. Well, that's the way the talent is in the league. Played him perfectly, and he still scored. So it is what it is. But, man, they really, I was very impressed. Jamison, 18 minutes, 5 points. But he was really playing some defense. He was really trying to hit those boards in them 18 minutes. I like him. I liked him when they got him. I didn't think he would not get as many minutes as he's not gotten. Like, he's a two-way guy, but he's a guy that should be fighting for a regular roster spot. See, Kevin McCullough, he paid less than a minute. Now, I'm not giving up on him as an NBA player. I think he is an NBA player, but I'm not sure if he's going to have a place on this team. Because when you talk about a Jemison, you got to have you need a roster spot to have him, okay? And then, of course, Yabusele struggled again, and he's under a lot of pressure. See, this is the thing. Not everybody could play in New York, okay? McCall showed he could play in New York because he was getting all kind of pressure last year when he would have good games because of how he shoots the ball, because of him not getting to the line enough. There was all kind of whiners and haters bringing out their bull crap on McCall last year. But he stuck with what he does. He's a pro. He knows how to handle himself, and he handled himself. And then he won us games in the playoffs, especially against Boston. He just closed out Boston couple of times. So, but not everybody can do that. It's a lot of pressure to play in New York. First, you got the media that asks the dumbest ass questions over and over and over again. Then you have the fans who are crazy, especially in the age of social media. Some of these dudes are mentally off, man, and they come out with some of the and then there's some writers I got to put most, in fact, only E and Begley and Shams are the only two guys that I have on X that I'm following. Everybody else I have on block, unless I want to hear like somebody gets inside the locker room could tell you who's starting and who's sitting. I might unblock them for that second and then put them back on block. I can't even listen to them. Some of them come up with the stupidest things. You see, so New York is hard to play. It's a hard place to play. So Gershon Yabusele, getting what for him is a bag, 11 million for him, that's a bag, man. So, and then playing in MSG, it's people talking about his weight, people talking about this and that. It's hard. So it may not be a good fit is what I'm trying to say. It may not be a good fit. We have to see. It's still a long way to go in the season. But now we're approaching the time where he could be traded. He's coming into that time where he could be traded, and you got all the way to the trade deadline. We have to see. We have to see what happens. But and I'm not even suggesting this. We talked about this yesterday. There's guys that this could target in the trade deadline. But I'm just thinking, shoot, if you trade Yabusele, you can give Jemison a regular NBA contract. He can get a minimum deal contract. Save money. Got a guy already, that to me is ready to play. Big man that can play both 4 and 5. To me, he's already ready to play. So that is a possibility. But this is the thing. I don't know if you're noticing, but a lot of people now on the Knicks bandwagon that for decades have not been. I heard the two dudes from Boston talking about even with Tatum, the Knicks are better than the Celtics. Now, that's wild, especially from a crew where after the playoffs ended last year for them, when we sent them on vacation, they were talking about, well, if Tatum was healthy, which might, and the Knicks were beating the Celtics' ass before Tatum got hurt. Tatum was like the finishing, but the Knicks were about to end that series anyway. People don't want to mention that, but that was what was going on. Knicks were about to end that series anyway. They just weren't, the Celtics were just not as good as the Knicks last year. It just is what it is. But now everybody's on the bandwagon. That makes me actually nervous, honestly. People already talking championship. Listen, there's 56 games to go. It's a grinding season. What I like about last night is that you had Kolek, Clarkson, Jemison, and Yabusele to an extent, but then really Diawara and Hupori do their thing. And that's deep into the roster. That's deep into the roster, okay? So, and win a game, look, the Knicks have played, I think they have played, let's see, they played Saturday night, Tuesday, and last night. So they've played 3 games in 5 nights. And and that's the beginning of another 3-game and 5-night stretch they're getting ready to go into. This team is good, man. This is, when you're winning games like this, you good. You are really legit good. This is a game that I'm telling you, in the last 10 years, even with Tibbs, the Knicks will lose this game more likely than win. Okay? And you could understand it, coming off the hoopla and hype of the cup, and then missing 5 rotation players. But no, Tibbs did a similar thing. I think it was 2 years ago when he started playing Deuce more, like the way Kolek's playing more. And Deuce came through and had 20-point game, was playing 40 minutes, and the Knicks ended up second in the East. When was that? Let me just go back and look at this. The Knicks ended up second in the East, man, and that was Tibbs, to me, his best coaching job, because the Knicks were missing a lot of players that year, and that was his best coaching work. He really pulled. It wasn't just Deuce, though. He had pulled out. Let me just go back. I think it was like 2 years. Let me go back here. So last year, the Knicks finished 3rd in the East. The year before that, in 23-24, they finished 2nd. It was that year. They finished 2nd in the East. And, man, Tibbs did a tremendous coaching job that year, because if you look at the games started, Josh played 81 games. Dante played 81 games. Brunson played 77. We had Hartenstein. Deuce played 68. We were using Precious 49 games. We only had Randall 46 games. Crimes 45. Mitch Rob we had for 31 games. Quick 30 games. That's when they was traded. And to me, in that mix of all that hubbub, Tibbs did a job. He had Josh, DiVincenzo, Brunson, Hartenstein, and Deuce. That was the team. Basically, that was the team. That was the team. That was the minutes. And they went to second in the East. Now, that was hard. This Rhea, though, we were missing at that point Randall, Grimes, Mitch Rob. Quick got traded. So Quick got traded. Barrett got traded. And we got OG. We had OG for 23 games. We had Alec Burks that year. Malachi Flynn that year. Fournier for 3 games. He started 3 games. But I'm saying we were missing a lot of our core guys. Especially we're missing Mitch Rob, Quick, RJ. We're missing them guys. And then Juju had hurt his shoulder. We're missing him. Then Quentin Grimes was traded, and he was hurt too. So we're missing 5 legit rotation pieces. The Knicks did a job. Tibbs did a job that year. Well, this year is very similar. Here we're missing 5 rotation pieces. And the Knicks come back. Not on, they win on the road. Look, there's a couple of teams. We talked about this. Philly, Boston, Miami, and Indiana. Well, you throw out the records. Just throw the records out. It's playoff time when these 2 teams meet. It's just playoff atmosphere. That's what it was last night in Indiana. Playoff atmosphere. And even Clyde said, I feel like playoff because it's all, throw out all the record. Throw out that. And just, it's a game. It's a war. Indiana should have won that game. But the Knicks deserve to win it, though. Because they just gutted it out, man. And then at the end, the captain. What you gonna say? Brunson was Brunsonin. Brunson was Brunsonin. Period. If you know, you know. Did that sidestep 3 on Nimhart. Boom. Dang. And then, of course, they still had a few seconds. OG said, no, you don't. No, you don't. 7-foot wingspan from the grown-ass man. Game over. Big time. Big time last night. So tonight, we got Philly, right? Again, this is a game where you say, okay, if they lose, they lose, right? Because this is the second night we're back-to-back. This is their 4th game in 6 nights, right? 1, 2, 3. This is their 5th game in 7 nights. This is their 5th game in 7 nights. And so you expect them to lose this game. But see, we spoiled now. So wait, Brunson, he didn't have no legs for 3/4 of the game last night. Neither did McCall. Neither did OG. The shots was coming short. And you know what I noticed? OG missed about 3, and they kept hitting the front part of the rim. And then I noticed he made a concerted effort on his first 3, if you watch that, to bend lower, to bend his legs lower. He knew he was weak in his leg. It ain't like this is the first time these dudes experienced this. So he bent his legs lower and put more into a splash. So here we go. So, tonight, what they got going? Mitch Rob, he was out last night. We know Josh was out last night. And I'm telling you, if you saw the clip of the video that I put in yesterday's content, you saw Deuce, right? Deuce was hyped. He's ready to play, okay? So I don't know if they're going to be able to keep him out the lineup tonight, but I'm about 85%. He's going to play Sunday. He's going to play Sunday. He's trying to get back in that mess right now. He's going to play Sunday. So Kolek, this is the thing. Kolek is going to still stay in the rotation as long as Shamet ain't back yet. Once Shamet gets back, he's going to be eased in. He's not going to have to be rushed back. So Kolek will stay in the rotation for a minute. And let me tell you, if he keep balling and then this keep winning, Shamet may have to wait a minute. I'm not saying he won't sit forever, but he have to wait a minute because one thing Brown does, he sticks with the hot hand. And Kolek is part of the hot hand right now. So and they played what was really surprising to me last night is there was a pretty good stretch where Kolek and Brunson shared the floor. Now, normally that's disaster because of the fact that there's no defense. But Kolek's defense was good enough for Brown to trust him in that scenario. And he did not let Brown down. He played good defense. Okay, he really did. So he wasn't, now I don't know if you could do that against a regular Indiana team, like with Halliburton and Neesmith there. Yeah, I don't know if you could do that. I don't think so. But in a weekend team, when you're really talking about, and no Brent Shepard last night, in a weekend team, when you're talking about they're playing at the guard spot, they're playing Mathurin, who's rough now. I ain't gonna front. Mathurin's rough, but Nembhard and Mathurin. Then after that, you got to deal with T.J. McConnell. And I want to tell you, daggone Kolek did a good job. Everybody in the earth knows where T.J. McConnell is going. He is going within 12 feet of the basket. He's trying to get 2 feet in the paint, or he's trying to go basket to the right or the left side of the floor. That's where he's going. He's pro at getting to those spots. Both Kolek and Brunson and everybody that guarded him read that scouting report and know what he was trying to do and kept him out. Now, he did get a couple of baskets. He ended up 8 points, 4 of 6 from the floor, but he was minus 15. He couldn't guard none of the cats. Not only that, they was keeping him out of the paint. He don't force shots. If he's not getting in one of his spots, he's not shooting. They were giving him 3 points. He wouldn't shoot. Okay, the Knicks were giving it to him, which is what we want. We want him to shoot 3. He wasn't shooting it. He was passing it, trying to move into the paint. If he don't get, and that's one thing I like about T.J. McConnell, he's not going to force a bad shot. If he could get in one of his areas, he's going to shoot it. But if not, he's going to pass it. And they were not letting him in, man. They just weren't. They were shutting off that paint from him, which is excellent perimeter point of attack defense. And Kolek is part of that. So that was good, man. So now we got this game tonight. So first, Brunson's going to be tired. But Brunson's a warrior. I want to see who else comes. I mean, I'm pretty sure Mitch Rob ain't hurt. In fact, I know he ain't hurt. They just sat him last night. He going to play. Is Cat going to play? I don't know. Is OG going to play? I don't know. Is Josh going to play? I don't know. Okay. But we got some dogs. We got some dogs and we got some depth. Now, for the Philadelphia team, I think right now, they kind of rolling. They got everybody back that's going to be back. I mean, I think Embiid is always, he's always day to day. He's questionable if he plays. Then you got Kelly Oubre. He's out against New York today. Sprained left knee. But other than that, Watford, he's all right, but we ain't worried about Watford. But then they got everybody else. PG-13, Grimes, Maxey. They got everybody else. They ready, man. They got everybody else. So we're going to have to play them head up. Now, I'm expecting Embiid to show up, but if Mitch Rob shows out, if Mitch Rob plays, I'm not real worried about Embiid, honestly. But McCain, Grimes, Edgecombe, Maxey, those cats are rough, man. They are, no doubt. Then they got Barlow and Drummond coming in, also Adam Bona. They're all good. Then, of course, there's PG-13, who older than Dirk, but still got game, right? So we got a game tonight. It's going to be tough. I'm going to watch the replay tomorrow. Well, where's this game being televised? I think it's going to be on. I don't know if it's a nationally televised game. I don't think it is. I think it's a League Pass. If it's a League Pass, I'm going to tape it anyway. If it's Prime, I'm definitely going to be able to see it because Prime, I got Prime, and I just pull it back on the replay. Matter of fact, it is going to be on Prime. It's going to be on Prime tonight. So if it's on Prime, I'll be able to see it Saturday night. Yeah, so it's going to be a good game. If the Knicks really win this game tonight, the Knicks should not be, I'll be surprised if the Knicks are favored in this game because they shouldn't win this game. They really, let's say they're missing 4 rotation players today. If they're missing 4 rotation players today, they really shouldn't win this game. But don't sleep on the Knicks. Y'all know, don't sleep on the Knicks. Don't do it because we could beat y'all. See, so who's favorite? Looks like the Knicks are slight favorites today. Look like the Knicks are slight favorites. That's just a setup. But they shouldn't be. Philly should be favored. But the Knicks are now 19-7. Woo, man. This is gravy to me. Tonight is gravy. Okay, I'm expecting more Sunday, really. I'm expecting Sunday to be, the game where we come back to our regular, situation, because I'm expecting Deuce to come back Sunday. So, yeah, shoot. Sunday, who they play? I think it's Miami they play Sunday. I'm looking at the schedule here. Yeah, they play Miami at 6 o'clock on Sunday at the Garden. Yeah, so that's on League Pass. So that's the game, I'm expecting to be back. Let them rest. They're at home, so let them rest tomorrow. And hopefully you get Deuce back. I think, God forbid, anybody should get hurt. So you got Cat, you have your regular starting five with Cat, Josh back. You have your regular bench with Deuce. Not Deuce, Mitch Rob and Deuce, as well as Kolek and Jordan Clarkson. I like that. I think we'll be in good shape, man. So that's the game. But tonight, don't be surprised if they lose this game, because for them to have won last night was something else, man. They're gone. So we have to see what happened, man. But if they win tonight, ooh, man, we on one then. We on one then. Might be juggernaut time. We have to see, because they have won 6 straight. So let's see what happened, man. Y'all, please enjoy your Friday. Be safe. Enjoy your weekend with your fam. Stay healthy. Stay safe. So